How to fake expensive decor. A well-designed room looks expensive even if it isn't. Before you invest in decorative, try to come up with a theme or scheme for the room. Once you have identified what you want your room to look like, search for economical pieces that look classy and expensive. If you're not having much luck finding pieces in stores, you can make your own. The following steps provide some ideas and advice. Get started at step number 1 below. Designing a room that looks expensive. Choose a unifying theme. A well-coordinated room will look expensive even if the elements of the decor are cheap. Choose a theme that will tie together your room. This will help you look for inexpensive pieces while making it seem as though you have paid an interior decorator. Rooms that seem confused, cluttered, and mismatched have the look of cheap rather than luxury even if the pieces are lovely. For example, a beach-themed room would have pictures of the ocean, shell decorations, and a blue-green palette. A rustic, woodsy theme would have wood detailing, paintings of landscapes, and an earthy palette. Industrial themes use repurposed items, steel accents, and sharp edges to give the room a more modern edge. Gray, brick red, and black are popular colors. Minimalism is a popular and trendy design scheme where you use as few pieces as possible to decorate your room. Simple furniture and white or neutral colors will make the room look as though it could feature in a magazine, like Home and Garden, but the style is inexpensive to recreate. Focus on a neutral color palette. Stick with white or light neutral shades, such as brown or gray, for the base color. Your walls and larger furniture pieces should belong to this color scheme. For example, you might have beige walls with white doors and gray furniture. Your feature elements will stand out against neutral colors more, which will make them seem more prominent. Some neutral colors you can mix and match include gray, slate blue, taupe, soft yellow, off-white shades like ivory and cream, coffee brown, tan, beige. Add accent pieces. Accent pieces are small decorative items that contrast with your neutral color scheme. They are usually either brightly colored or patterned. Accent pieces can be easily and cheaply be replaced if you ever change your style. Make sure all of your accent pieces are the same color for maximum effect. Some items you might consider for accents include vases, pillows or cushions, blankets or throws, picture frames, ottoman, tablecloths, flowers, figurines, striped, dotted, or chevron patterned objects. Choose a focal point. A focal point is a piece of furniture, art, or object that is the primary decoration in the room. Having one grand piece will draw attention to it, making it seem important and pricey. A room in which there is no clear focus tends to feel cheap. 2. Some good focal points for a room include a large painting, a unique table, 2 retro mod chairs, a wall decal, full-length bookshelves, an ornate mirror. Consider getting rid of dated details. To some, the key to making decor seem expensive is to follow modern trends. To help your room remain stylish and cool, you should reduce the dated elements of its decor. Some common out-of-style elements include vertical window blinds, formica tables, clear plastic furniture, furniture painted to resemble marble or stone, broken or damaged items such as torn posters, cracked vases, or splintered wood. Obviously, antiques can lend an expensive-looking touch to any room, especially if it is an family piece you have inherited and haven't had to pay for. As long as your antiques are in good condition and tie in with the rest of the room's decor, keep them. Don't ditch them just because they are old. It is possible to combine modern and antique pieces in a room. Avoid clutter. Ironically, having less clutter in a room makes the overall impression that of luxury. You do not want a room that is filled with furniture and decorative items and resembles a second-hand shop. Limit how many decorative pieces display. This creates the impression that you spent more on a few expensive items instead of buying many cheaper items. When placing your decorative items around the room, keep a little bit of space between each item. Decorative shelves should ideally not be crammed with items. It's tempting to fill that space with stuff. Instead, only fill 1/2 to 3/4 of the space, leaving some empty space. Keep your surfaces, such as coffee tables, counters, and TV stands mostly clear. Choose only one or two items to place on these surfaces. For example, you might keep a lamp on a side table with a single picture frame but nothing else. If in doubt, remove. Try taking out a piece of furniture. See what happens if the coffee table is simply moved to the another room. Or see what happens if you remove throw pillows, cushions. You may find that less is more. Finding cheaper alternatives. Visit thrift stores. Thrift stores, charity shops, consignments, estate sales, and antique stores will often have old vintage or antiques items that are much cheaper than new. This is a great way to get inexpensive but quality items, such as wooden tables or embroidered chairs. Old wooden furniture can always be repainted. If you find a piece that is chipped or faded, you can paint it to match your color palette. You may find interesting and unusual items in these stores and shops. These will seem expensive because they are unique. For example, you might find a lunchbox from the 60s with old superheroes on it, or you might discover an antique milk pail that you can use for flowers. Shop online. Websites like eBay, Craigslist, and Gumtree allow people to sell their old furniture and decorative items. Search through these sites to see if you can snag a deal. It may take a little while to find the perfect deal, but you may be able to score a truly expensive piece for very little money. Search online for less expensive replicas. If there is a more expensive piece that you have your eye on, you might be able to find a cheaper replica online. Search for words that are associated with the original piece. For example, you might type cheap crystal chandelier to see what pops up. Print out your own art. If you can't afford originals of art, you can buy prints from the internet. If the artwork is in the public domain, you can even print out your own copy at a print shop, and frame it yourself. This is a great way to get quality reproductions of famous art pieces in your own home without paying a fortune. When sending the work to the print shop, make sure you send an HD copy so that you get the best image possible. You can also tear out images from an old calendar and frame them. This is a great way to reuse an old calendar, and the images are all professional quality. Repurpose items. You might find interesting pieces that can be used for a different purpose than intended. These pieces can be a focal point for your room if you choose. Transform your old furniture, or keep an eye out for things that can become tables, wall hangings, or accent pieces. You might use an old luggage trunk as a coffee table. Hang antique dinner plates on the wall. Drape an old quilt over a chair. Frame vintage fashion magazines' images. Make shelves out of old wooden planks. Position a TV on a painted crate. Making your own decor. Assemble your own built-in bookcases. Floor-to-ceiling length bookshelves may seem expensive, but you can replicate the effect without purchasing high-end custom furniture. Measure your wall. Instead of building one giant bookcase, purchase 4 identical smaller bookcases that will fit in that space. Place 2 side by side for the base, and stack the other 2 on top. Be sure to bolt all 4 bookcases to the wall for stability. Wallpaper the inside of your bookcase. An easy way to add a customized twist to an old bookcase is to wallpaper the back of the shelves. Find a wallpaper that matches your theme or color scheme. Cut the wallpaper to size of the backing of each shelf. Paste it on using wallpaper paste. Let it dry before you put items back on the shelves. If you are using the bookcase to display decorative objects like vases or figurines, you might want to choose a solid color for the wallpaper, so that more attention is drawn to your collection. If you are just using the shelves for books, you can choose a bold pattern, such as chevron stripes, polka dots, or a floral design. This will make the shelves an accent piece in their own right. Paint your own tile backsplash. Small ceramic tiles are great for decorating the backsplash of kitchens or bathrooms, but decorated tiles are expensive. Plain white ceramic tiles, on the other hand, can be cheap. With a little time and effort, you can turn tiles into something stunning and extravagant. Find a stencil of a design you like, such as a fleur-de-lis or a bird. Press the stencil down on the tile, and paint over the design. Let the tile dry, and you have an easy, beautiful tile. You can then adhere it to the wall using tile mastic. Good places for painted tile backsplashes include underneath cabinets or above a countertop. Do not paint the tiles on your floor or along your shower or bath. Too much water damage can ruin the paint. Use fake flowers instead of real. Fresh flowers are beautiful, but they can become costly. Instead, look for convincing fake flowers. Put together your own centerpiece, and arrange them in an inexpensive vase. You have an easy, reusable centerpiece. Go for flowers that look as close to real as possible. You might even be able to find ones that also feel soft and natural. Your guests probably will not know the difference. You can swap out flowers for each season and event, reusing the same flowers every year. Friends probably will not notice, but it will make it seem as though you are constantly updating your centerpiece. Artificial flowers can easily become dusty. If so, they do not look luxurious. Also, this can be problematic for allergy sufferers and asthmatics. Fill a vase to make a centerpiece. Vases are easy to find, and they can be relatively inexpensive. To help jazz up an empty vase, you can fill it with some small items. This will add a touch of character to your decor without costing a ton of money. Some things you can fill it with include potpourri, shells, pieces of coral, marbles, buttons, sticks, wine corks, repaint frames. Nice picture frames can be expensive, but you can manage a high-quality look without paying a lot of money. Find inexpensive picture frames at a dollar store, craft store, or thrift store. Paint the frames with a color or design that pleases you. Gold and silver paint are easy to find if you want a more distinguished shade. You can add words as you like, such as sisters or friends forever. This will make it seem personalized. Painting designs on your frames gives them a unique look. You can paint stripes, dots, or other easy geometric shapes. Tips. The most important thing is that the room looks good to you. If you like the way the room looks, you do not have to worry so much if it appears expensive or not. While you should invest in good furniture pieces, such as sofas and tables, you can go cheap on accessories, like pillows and artwork, without people noticing. If you are making your own decor, you should choose projects that you know you can complete at your skill level. Always measure your space before buying new decor or furniture to make sure that it will fit. Try leaving a little bit of space between furniture and other objects to make the room seem larger than it is.